Hey everyone, today let's talk about the one thing that is gonna be a big hit to the economy as a whole. And this goes for the United States, but I think it's happening all over the world kind of at the same time. And that is the baby boomers that are going to hit retirement by 2030, and also the amount of businesses and properties that they own. Not just residential homes that they live in, but also commercial properties that their businesses operate in or they have investments in. It's estimated that 75 million baby boomers are going to be retiring by the year 2030. With me doing both residential commercial real estate for the last 11 years, and especially in two markets, in Florida the past couple of years, because we have expanded there. But what that's doing is it's creating a lot of tension and fears and the unknown with them, because a lot of these guys have owned the same properties for 15, 20, 30 years because that was the norm back then. You buy a property, you live in it, you pay it off, and it's there for your retirement. And then when you're ready to move, you make that decision, you sell that property, and you go buy, a single level townhome, a villa, whatever the case may be. And, what I'm dealing with right now, and it's a big conversation piece to have, is there's always one party to, the relationship to where they're like, hey, we're in our early 60s, it's time to get rid of our house, our property that we own. It's time to downsize. It's time to get something to where I have no more stairs to deal with, no more maintenance to deal with, no more picking up leaves, lawn, snow, all that stuff. I want to move somewhere where it's maintained, and I want to ensure that I don't have to do that when I have to do it, but I can do it when I make the decision to do it, which is, a few years before retirement, just so you're ready for that lifestyle change when that retirement does happen. So, I deal with these situations all the time, and it's, coming to the, once I get a call, it's coming to these properties to meet with these sellers, and one of them is going, yes, I want to move forward straight ahead, and the other person's going, well, no, wait a minute. This is change. I don't like change. I've been here for 20 some years. I want to stay here as long as possible, maybe another year or two, and they keep pushing it off and on down the road. Well, what that can create is a couple years down the road to get a phone call and go, hey, we must move. We have no other choice right now. One of us got sick, one of us broke a hip, whatever happens, can't do the stairs anymore. So yes, change is hard, and it's, the fear sets in and you're used to certain things. But just from experience of doing this for so long and helping so many people in that, life change, whether it's listing their businesses for sale, their properties that they own that businesses operate in because they're trying to slow down in life and just collect cash at this point to live on, downsize their portfolios, or move from their single family home that they own that comes with a lot of maintenance that they've owned for a long time to something more reasonable and suitable for their new lifestyle. Have an extra bedroom for when the grandkids come over, whatever else, but the biggest thing is no stairs. Because I don't know, I'm not at that age yet, but from what I hear, stairs are, really tough. Having grandparents and all that stuff, it's, they can't handle stairs very well the older that they get. So let's talk about this change, and let's talk about what I predict is gonna happen in the next few years is, single level properties and villas and condos and apartments are going to start to become more and more in high demand. And the reason that is because, with 75 million people hitting that retirement age by 2030, that's only 7 years away now, it is going to become a hot commodity. But who's going to be purchasing their properties that they own now? Some of these guys are 2,000-3,000 square feet, but some of these people, in that group own the same properties that are 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 square feet that a lot of people don't want. So is there a redevelopment plan? Is there, things like that to get out of those properties? But the longer that you have, that you give yourself time to make those decisions and to make that switch happen, the better it is for you in the long run, because it gives you options to where you're not forced into situations. You're not forced to sell today. You're planning your life out for the future. Moves, changes are tough, yes, but it's also tougher when you are forced to do something when you aren't ready for it, you haven't prepared for it, and everything needs to move so fast. But when you are in control and you're doing it a few years before you have to do it, you have a lot more control, you have a lot more pace, you can do things at your speed, your timing, your choices, everything, to make the right decisions for you. With the real estate market right now, I just did a couple transactions for people that were downsizing, and the conversations were simple. I was like, I need to get out of this property, I can't do the stairs anymore, don't use our basement at all, haven't been down there in a couple of years, so we need to get out. We need to get out now. Well, the one party was great with the process, they made up their mind. But the other party was like, no, I'm another year. And then the forceful thing happened to where the one person was like, hey, you've been saying it one more year for the last 4 years. I'm doing this with or without you. And then eventually they got on board, which I understand. It's stressful. It's, hey, I need to sell my property. I need to buy a new property. I need to set up the closing at the same time, the same date, so we can move, we can hire people, we can make that transition. Or do we go out and pull money here, pull money there in order to make the transaction smooth so we don't have any worries, we don't have any problems? Well, that's why it helps to work with a professional that does this all the time, is because, you are doing it once, 15, 20, 30 years. Someone like me, we do this a couple times a week, a couple times a month, a few times a month. So we know the processes, we know the best strategies, the best ways to do it. So when you're thinking about making that move, make sure that you work with somebody that's experienced that knows how to work that process so it's seamless for you, so it creates less stress, less headaches, less sleepless nights, and ensures that everything is smooth. And as we know, real estate, not always are we a smooth sailing sea. There's waves and bumps along the way, but we make it as smooth and easy as possible by doing all the background stuff to ensure that the front end that you're focused on and care about gets done no matter what. So that goes for the single family stuff, your personal residence. Now let's talk about investment properties. Let's talk about businesses, and let's talk about that side of things too. With this population, is you don't want to be forced to just close your company down or sell the property at the end when you have no other choice. You need to make sure that you take the proper steps to build up your cash flows, to build up your leases on your properties, to do all of the things in order to ensure that you're able to get the highest possible, value of the business and the properties that you've held and you've built up over the past 20, 30, 40 years. So, and that takes a lot of work, and that takes a lot of planning, and that takes starting early to plan for the next 5, 10, 30 years of your life, to make sure that it's as stress-free as can possibly be, because all of the steps that you've taken in the front end to prepare for your future. When you want to slow down, when you want to vacation more, when you don't want to stress anymore, when you don't want to, follow all these issues. So it's estimated that 40% of all the businesses and real estate are owned by that 75 million baby boomers that are gonna be retiring. So it's a big number. And what that says is they're gonna need either A, shut down those companies and just let everyone go, or B, they need to start thinking about selling those properties, passing them on to the next generation to ensure that those businesses are successful and they have steady monthly cash flow. The real estate leases are tight, the properties are in great shape, whatever the case is, especially with the businesses. So just make sure that you start the process early. You meet with somebody that understands it and ensures that you have the smoothest possible transition when you do have to stop working, when you do have to move, and you do have to do that. So it's better to do things when you aren't forced into it. It's better to do things planned on your own terms, your own way. If you have any questions, if you'd like to connect and chat about this more, please reach out to me at any time. I'd love to help. Lots of experience in this. Helped many people throughout the years in this transition, which can be tough and scary, yes, but as long as you're working with somebody that understands it and can help you navigate the waters of the transition, it can be smooth and easy. So thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day. And again, if you need any help, Minnesota, Southeast Florida, happy to help, happy to have a conversation without any obligations, just to at least set you on the right path.